Everyone, welcome to day 3 of the semester. I wanted to again give you just a little bit of time to get in, get comfortable with everything. Hopefully by now you have walked through the course shell, you have seen that you have a syllabus quiz, and that you are starting to see, probably your phone has been pinged or your computer or your iPad or tablet, that some assignments started to populate into the course and that you'll see that the first module for chapter 1 has now opened. And so I wanted to just take a brief moment and walk you through how to register and what assignments are going to look like going forward as far as lab and lecture. So again, I'm just randomly clicking on one of the 3 sections. Remember from our opening video, and if you have not watched the opening video, please go back and do so, that we need to be coming into the Canvas shell. This is if you are, physically crossing the threshold into a classroom and you're now in the classroom as if you were face to face, right? This is something we should be doing on a daily or if not every other day basis when we want to be checking in, making sure we're up to date on all information. So once this video gets posted, I am going to head and make an announcement for you that again, this is available for you to view. But I have already seen that some of you have done your due diligence and kind of figured out how to walk through and find some of the information, and you've already started to register for the book and the online platform. So hats off, way to go in taking the initiative and getting ahead on your assignments. For those that haven't, that's okay, right? I told you I was going to have a video posted for you. And so with that, I want to walk you through how to register, where this information is, and again, any troubleshooting that you may need to have. Hopefully, again, you've already walked through some of that background information in those opening modules. So here is the landing page of section 0073. Again, go back, rewatch the opening video if you are confused about this section Canvas shell versus lecture Canvas shell. I've already covered this. Go back and rewatch that opening video. Additionally, make sure you're checking into the daily announcements. Okay, so let's go into it then. In the module section now, you will see that I have opened up for you week 1, right? So week 1 is now fully open, and on my end, it is published because I've got all the little green check marks. And so let's just walk through what the overview of this is. As the title states, right, I have PowerPoints, I have readings, and I have homework assignments. You have your reading quiz, and then this is where you would have your laboratory assignments and if there's any discussion boards due. So under here, the first thing I want you to notice is that I have the chapter reading posted for you as an assignment, but notice there are 0 points attached to this. That just simply is a placeholder because again, in the opening video, in the modules, everywhere I have posted for you, to be successful in this class, you have to read the chapters. Let me say that again. You have to read the chapters. And so, over the years and semesters I have taught, how do I encourage this? I physically put it as an assignment. I am not grading you on it. There's no way to grade you on it other than when we get down to the Smart Book. And I'll talk about that in just a second. So this is here as a placeholder just to remind you, hey, I've got to read the chapter from page 1 of the chapter to the end of the chapter. I should know everything in between. I should look at all the case studies. I should review all the graphs and the data. I should know how to interpret that and be prepared to potentially answer questions about every single piece of information inside of those pages of the chapter. Now, the good news is, right, this is very simple, very straightforward. There's maybe 7 to 10 pages at most you'd have to read about a chapter. Every week, a chapter is going to be due. So it's very manageable, right? And again, what you'll notice here is that inside of these chapter readings, well, I should say inside of module 1 and 2, this is the only time you're going to see 2 chapters stacked together as far as being due. Most of the time, you'll just have a chapter to read, the smart book, the homework, the reading quiz, and a laboratory assignment. I'm sorry, my dog is barking. And so again, only because I want to give time for people to get financial aid, I want to make sure that you have time to get into the course, register. I have pushed chapter 1's assignments into the second week to be due with chapter 2. So there's going to be a little bit of some doubling up. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean you can't get ahead, right? And some of you have already taken that initiative, went ahead and registered, and you started this homework because you don't want to have 2 assignments due on the same day. And so again, there's no pressure on it. These due dates are out at the 25th, but I've pushed it to the second week just to give extra people some time, or just to give people some extra time, I should say, to be able to register if you're waiting on financial aid. Additionally, there's no labs due across any face-to-face sections or online labs the first week. So with that being said, you'll only have 1 lab due for next week. And after I post this video, and after I walk you through where and how to register, then you'll start to see that there's a mass influx of all the assignments that are going to open. And again, the reason for that is because I want to give you the time to be able to move through the course at your own pace. That's what the goal of this course is. You want to run ahead and get the first, 7 chapters done? Fantastic, go for it. That's your discretion. The only thing that will not open is going to be the exams. The exams will open on the Wednesday before their due date, so that those that may be working on the weekends have a little bit of a jump start to be able to complete them, and then they will close on the Sunday that they are due. Exams will not open any sooner than that. So again, just keep that in mind. So how do you register for this, Dr. Barger? Well, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can click directly on the assignments themselves, or maybe some of you have noticed, right, there is a McGraw-Hill over here link that will take you into the registration process. The reason I wanted to give time to bringing this up is because otherwise, right, you might have to go and look for a course code, you might have to back end in. It doesn't really matter, even if you went through the publisher's website to register for it, it's still going to link to this course, and I should still be able to see you, so don't worry about that. The only other thing I want to point out here is that inside the opening modules, and even sometimes on the home landing page of getting registered for this, there is an opportunity for you to utilize some free time, right? Up to, I think it's 10 to 15 days free to start getting ahead, as again, the publisher knows that you may be waiting for your financial aid to be distributed. That's perfectly great. If you need to use that, wonderful. Here's the thing though, you can't reuse that over and over and over again as an opportunity to just buy this for free. Because as you keep re-registering, you'll have to keep linking to different email accounts, and I'm not chasing that down, and more importantly, it's not going to sync with the course, and your grades won't populate. So you'll have grades out there that are in a bunch of different places, and it won't populate into the same area. You have to use your myuntdallas.edu email address. Don't be using Gmails, don't be using otherwise, to link these 2 things together. And that's why I'm saying, if you go through it this way because you haven't purchased it yet, or you're waiting on financial aid, or you have the course code, but you were waiting for this particular video, the simple, most streamlined way to ensure that you are registering for the correct course, come into the Canvas shell, click on, again, either an assignment, or click on the McGraw-Hill Connect right there, the LTIA, and it will directly bring you into the Connect section for your course. The only other things I want to point out here, there's some resources in here. First and foremost, this is just a PDF PowerPoint, so maybe as you're moving through and reading, you want to have the PowerPoint open so that you can add and take notes. This is not a one-stop shop. However, you learn is going to be unique to you, right? Even inside of the chapter readings, you'll see a little speaker option. You'll see some highlighters as an option, as a tool. You can take note cards and place little note cards inside of there. These are all resources because it's just like your physical copy of the book, it's just online. But that's stored for you on their website, and you can go back and reference it as many times as you need to be able to study. The second thing I want to point out, the chapter homework and the reading quiz have due dates, right? Those are pretty hard and fast. The chapter homework may have a little wiggle room, but the reading quiz is due on that date, meaning the smart book and the chapter homework, I've given a little bit of some grace to accept late work with a small skosh of a penalty, right? Very small, minute amount of points. And that's if, oh, I forgot to do that, right? We're talking like 0.01% or something along those lines. Don't panic about it, but I want to make sure you complete those assignments. The chapter reading quizzes and the exams are hard and fast. There is no exception to those due dates, just like there will be no exception to your video research project, right? Those are very hard deadlines. There will be no excuse for those. The Smart Book reading assignments. These are simply, let's click on one of them just to open. And again, once you click on it, it's going to deploy for me because I'm the professor, but if you need to register, it's going to tell you need to register. So if I go in, actually, let's go into here first. I apologize. If we go into here, and I actually put this into student presentation mode so that you can see what it looks like if you were to come in. Right? As you land after you've registered, this is what this is going to look like for you. So with that being said, right, you can click on your readings, you can click on, you're going to see, so here's another thing. You'll see all of the assignments being populated inside the Connect section. I just haven't deployed them over to Canvas because once I do, you'll start getting pinged that a bunch of assignments are due, but they're all ready to go for you over here. I just will integrate them back over into Canvas so that you don't have to come into here. You'll see the hard deadline that will populate on your Canvas calendar. So again, as I mentioned, you've got access to a book. But let's talk about, right, the actual Smart Book assignments. So when you click on these, what these are is a metric as you're moving through after you have read the chapter. This is just to test how much you feel confident in the material you have already read, right? So as you move through this, you're going to be kind of gauging, and so will the program be gauging. Are you confident? Are you not so confident? And then it can bring you back to the reading as to where you may found that information. The homework and the reading quiz should not be utilized as your only tools to study. The best chance for success, reading the chapter. And again, I'm hoping for the best that everybody watches this video, but it's in the modules, it's in the syllabus, it's everywhere, right? So if you're failing your first exam or you're not happy with your first exam, you need to ask yourself, did I actually sit down and read these chapters, or did I just kind of look over them? And really, did I use just the resources of the assignments to be able to study for this? And then the other thing is, how often are you going back and touching base with that information, right? You should be going back weekly. Chapter 1 is going to feel very far away in 4 weeks, right? So make sure that you are constantly coming back in and just rereading the information. Reading it on the first pass, right? We click on this and we open it up and we begin to read, right? Again, you have lots of different resources here to your availability. You can highlight things on this page. You can, create note cards. You can, all of that, and that will save for you. So come in often to look at this and review. The other thing I want to let you know, and right now, because of the fact that, it's going to look different on my end, what the student view should appear as, when you complete the Smart Book assignment, and I've touched upon this in the opening modules and that there's some help guide videos as well, is that once you complete the Smart Book, you can go back and do what's called a recharge. And when you recharge it, it's actually going to repopulate maybe some of the old questions, but you may see some new questions as well. So it's an opportunity to kind of test yourself in a way. But I just wanted to touch base here. I just wanted to let you know that again, these things are available for you and you need to be coming into the modules and you need to be touching base with this stuff as often as you possibly can. Finally, and just the last little bits of information, all things McGraw-Hill Connect, this is everything. How do I, why do I need it? How do I make sure that I'm registering appropriately? How do I complete assignments? How am I troubleshooting if I can't gain access? And there's some more stuff that is down here, more videos and resources that are available for you regarding the smart books. So please use these things to your advantage. Last but not least, at the very top of the page, here is a way to schedule time with me if you're still confused about this information. Again, I'm going to make sure that the first thing I ask you is, did you watch the opening video and did you watch the McGraw-Hill video for how to register and all of that? If you come to me and go, I don't know what I'm doing, everything you need is here. Take ownership, take responsibility, take pride in your, learning success here. But I'm always here to support should anything sort of chaotic or out of the ordinary appear and come up on your radar. Okay, so with that, you're going to start to see a lot of things open inside of the Canvas shell. You're going to see a lot of assignments. I will also briefly mention this in the announcements as well. But if you've watched this video, you know what is coming, you know what to expect, and now you can hit the ground running. All right, I'll touch base with you next week, and good luck and enjoy your weekend.